Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Let me get my screen up. It's great to see you all. Probably have a couple of others that may have had Zoom confusion this morning as well. It's funny because use the same link we always use, and somehow two of us got in one room, and the rest we got in this room. But we'll go ahead and get started. So welcome here to the Pharmacy New Revenue Roundtable. So glad that you're able to be with us today. My name's Breck Rice. I'll be your host, and we have some other presenters that are here today too. It's always great to see a good group of people here that support and love community pharmacy. I've been working with community pharmacies for over 20 years. Absolutely love the industry. Want to do everything in our power to help our community pharmacy partners be successful and be profitable. And so that's the whole reason why we host these roundtables, is to support that industry. And so all of the other people that are on here today are like-minded and wanting to do the same thing to help and support community pharmacy. Back during the pandemic, we saw a report from Fortune that reported on so many closures, so many independents that had closed their doors. And the main two reasons for that is just really horrible reimbursements from the PBMs, the pharmacy benefit managers, and then the DIR fees. And so as you can see from this report, it brings out that, in 20 years, profit margins were back, when I first started in the industry, they were at 36%. And now today, profit margin on dispensing medication is only at 3 to 5%. So it's pretty hard to stay in business. And then when you see that you have DIR clawbacks, then it's very impossible to stay in business. And that's exactly what's happening to a lot of community pharmacies. Here's some examples of pharmacies that have been open for a really long time that just ended up closing their doors. The three stores up in Jefferson City have been around for 80 years. This one store in Durrington, that 106 years that pharmacy was there, leaving now a pharmacy desert for that community. This is just in the last week from one PSAO partner of ours sending out closures, store closures, and a couple that were sold to, the files were sold to a chain. But it's really sad to see so many people not being able to survive. And like I mentioned, it's part of the problem is the DIR fees. And if you look at this chart, this is incredible to me to look at the financial impact on our community pharmacy partners, how DIR fees have increased by over 91,000%. So to put that into perspective, that's like a gallon of milk would cost over $3,600 for just 1 gallon of milk. So it's pretty incredible. The odds are really stacked against independent community pharmacies when you're dependent upon dispensing revenue. So we are firm believers that community pharmacy really needs to focus on bringing in additional revenue solutions, additional revenue sources that are not directly connected to that dispensing revenue. And as you can see, independents are 91%, over 90% dependent upon dispensing revenue. We think that 1/3 of your revenue needs to come from other non-dispensing sources. The major chains have all their front end, sell anything and everything. Your mass merchandisers, are only at 11%. And then your supermarket, of course, the supermarket pharmacies, because they have all of their grocery items, are only at 7% dependent upon dispensing revenue. So a shift needs to definitely be made. And so that's one of the reasons why we've put together these roundtables. And most of the things we talk about today we ServRx doesn't get anything from this. We just want to help our community pharmacies survive. And so that's why we pulled together this panel of great products and services and people that will be presenting to you today. We've identified 17 new revenue streams that can be added to your pharmacy that help you get that 30% or more non-dispensing revenue. One of my favorite players of all time in hockey. I spent a few years up in British Columbia, Canada, when I was a little boy, and so I got to love hockey. That was our pee-wee sport. Wasn't soccer or football; it was hockey. And I remember putting on all the gear. The gear was heavier than the kid. You would have a 40-pound kid and 50 pounds of gear, and you were indestructible. You could run into the boards and slide across the ice, and you had all that padding on. You were protected. It was a lot of fun. But one of my all-time favorite players is Wayne Gretzky. And when he was asked what made him such a great player, this is what he said. He skates to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been. And that is the mindset we need to help our community pharmacies understand. You need to skate to where the puck is going to be, because if you stay in the status quo, you're going to die, like so many community pharmacies already have. So we're here to help with that. I want to turn some time over to my associate, great man. If you guys haven't met Will Shaw, he's amazing, super nice guy that is here to help take care of community pharmacies. And so, Will, why don't you tell us a little more about the ServeRx program? Will, I don't know if your mic is working or not, but okay, well, I'll jump into it. Maybe he had issues with the connection. Here, he actually called me to let me know that you were all in the other group. So I know he was here earlier to start with, but I'll just cover it real quick. So the original grandfather of this industry was a company called Third Party Solutions. I think most community pharmacies remember the old TPS bin. If you've been in the industry for any amount of time at all, you'll remember that TPS was the default processor for workers' comp. It made so much more sense to just send that to TPS, let them manage it for you, get a fair reimbursement. Well, unfortunately, that wonderful program was acquired by a PBM. Optum bought it, and they saw the opportunity to funnel all of that volume into their own networks and make millions and millions of dollars. Well, and that's exactly what they did. Well, that left a hole in the marketplace. I started with the old TPS back in 2003, so 20 some years ago. I was the director of community pharmacy and helped all of those community pharmacies back in that day. Well, when it was acquired by Optum, I didn't want to go to the dark side, so I left, and that left also a hole in the market for a true third-party claims processor. And so that's why we started the ServeRx program, to fill that gap, and are happily helping thousands and thousands of independent pharmacies today get fair reimbursements. You can see here in some of these actual examples, and these are true PBM rates. Those have been shared with us from our partners, of what PBM-A is reimbursing for Meloxicam, what PBM-B is reimbursing. But if you process that through ServeRx, this is one of the lower reimbursements, 91. We've seen it as high as 106, depending on the state of jurisdiction for that patient and where they were injured. So just some examples of some of the reimbursement. It's absolutely a free service to our pharmacy partners. You use our bin and PCN anytime that claim is not in one of the networks that you are contracted with. So again, if you have United Healthcare, what United does is they kind of hold you hostage and say, okay, if you want our 65 million lives in United Healthcare, you got to take, Optum RX and all of the plans underneath Optum. And so you're forced in taking Catamaran, Cypress Care, all of their networks, they bundle together. Express Scripts did the same thing. Express Scripts used to have an Express Comp, which was a rider that you used to be able to carve out and say, okay, we'll take Express Scripts, the Medicare programs and the Medco program and everything, but we don't want the comp. You used to be able to carve that out. Well, they bundled that together and make you take it all. But the good thing is that still about 1/3 of all workers' comp is self-insured employer groups or employees that have been injured on the job that fall outside of, either Express Scripts, the Optum RX or CVS Caremark. So even though they have about 80% market share on the commercial side, they only have about a 70% market share in workers' comp. Still huge, I know, but there's still 1/3 of all the claims that should be able to be processed for the life of the claim with ServRx to get those higher reimbursements. We absolutely want you to get the reimbursement that you legally deserve on all these scripts. So again, like I said, it's free. Get enrolled with us. You're probably already contracted because we are the preferred processor for every PSAO. So your PSAO or pharmacy service provider has probably already got the contract in place for you, and so you just need to get enrolled. If you're going to be attending NCPA, that starts this weekend down in Orlando. I know a couple of people on this call will be there. Tom, you'll be there. You guys always have a big, nice booth there, and we'll of course be there. We're at booth 743. We're back by where all the food and refreshments are, so we're easy to find. So please come by and say hi to us and break out of that status quo. Do something different and utilize a service that is here to support and help you get a fair reimbursement. One other thing I want to mention about us, this isn't the ServRx show, I promise. This is the last thing I'll have to say about ServRx is that we do have a customer appreciation, a few events that are coming up. We have this wonderful relationship with the Basketball Hall of Fame. So the CEO of ServRx is on the board of directors of the Basketball Hall of Fame, and they put on events all over the country, and so wanted to invite our pharmacy friends and your families, if you're anywhere near one of these upcoming locations, and you can certainly reach out to me and I'll get you more details about that. But Las Vegas on November 6th, Charlotte on November 10th, and you can see the dates there. So if you're anywhere near those areas and would love to come see some wonderful basketball played, again, this is the college level teams, but it's in association with the Basketball Hall of Fame. And so you never know who's going to show up and be at these events, but we want to invite you to be our guest, totally complimentary. It won't cost you or your family anything to come and attend and be a part of that. All right. So, we talked about 17 different revenue streams. The first being use ServRx. We're going to get you much higher reimbursement every chance we can. And then here's 10 revenue streams, all from one little health hub. It's like a Minute Clinic, but on steroids. And this program is absolutely amazing. There's a couple of pharmacies have already implemented this, put this in play in practice. There's one in a little town in Arkansas that's already generating about $30,000 to $35,000 per month in these clinical services that they're providing. And man, if they can do it, anyone can do it. And there's some amazing things here that you can reach out to me and I can get you in contact with the folks on how to get this all set up for you. But like I said, it's like imagine a little Minute Clinic that has all the latest and greatest technology, even utilizing artificial intelligence, bioelectromagnetic devices. We'll get into that in just a minute and tell you more about that. But the very first revenue stream from the 10 revenue streams this Fountain of Youth program provides is not even requiring any additional work. You're already doing this. Most pharmacies already provide vaccinations and flu shots. Well, here's an example of one of our clients that did almost 10,000 flu shots last year. Well, their reimbursement was about $167 because they're on average they were getting reimbursed about $17 per script or per shot. Once they're credentialed and they're now a clinic, they'll actually make closer to $1 million doing the exact same amount of work. Okay, so absolutely an amazing opportunity to 5x, 7x, 10x your reimbursement by going this route. The other program within the FOI, which you don't even have to do the full clinic. This one is amazing. Everyone should sign up for this home health test program. This is the second revenue stream. The home health test, I've got one here that's super slick. It's almost like an Apple product, the way that they put the case together and everything. But this is kind of like the HIMSS program for STI testing. And I didn't realize it was such a public health issue, but according to the CDC, there are 12 million new cases per year. That's almost 33,000 cases a day. Now, the main age range are 40-45% of the individuals that have this. So according to the CDC, again, 1 in 5 Americans is walking around with an STI. Well, that 40%, 45% are college age students. So if your pharmacy is anywhere near a college campus, community college, university, whatever, absolutely you're going to want to get involved in this program. You get assigned a unique QR code for your pharmacy that the patient just discreetly scans the QR code and they can get sent a home test, so they, in the privacy of their own home, can test for the STI. It gets sent off to the lab. If it's positive, then the lab will provide for them a telehealth visit. So it's all discreet and in the privacy of their own home or dorm room. And then you're the pharmacy of record, and so the script is sent to your pharmacy. So this is not only helping drive foot traffic into your pharmacy, but you get a referral fee from the lab on every test that's ordered. That's like mailbox money. You didn't have to do any extra work. The patient just simply scanned your QR code, and when they order the test, then a referral fee of between $10 and $15 per test is sent back to your pharmacy. Amazing program. It starts in about 2 or 3 weeks. Get on the sign up waiting list right now, so to make sure that you get your QR code assigned to you. So I'll at the end, I'll make sure that I have my contact information here and everything, so you guys can get enrolled in that. If you're going to be at MCPA, stop by the booth and we can get you enrolled at that time as well. So again, doesn't have anything to do with workers' comp or ServRx. ServRx doesn't get anything from this. We just love our pharmacy partners. We want you to be successful, and so get enrolled in that program. Make that mailbox money. Have those direct deposits just go directly to you. Okay, third revenue stream from the Fountain of Youth program is that virtual care. Right, it's the telehealth visit and virtual care right there at your at your pharmacy, and of course that's a national. National Physician Network that has been provided for you. I'm going to play a quick a short video here for you about personalized medicine, as this is another revenue stream that we highly encourage our community pharmacies to get involved with.
According to a recent report from Pharmacy Times, one size evidently does not fit all when it comes to medications. The pharmaceutical industry has produced some blockbuster medications, but has remained unremarkable at the patient or the individual patient level, with only an estimated 30 to 50% of patients fully responding to many of the leading conventional drugs. Some treatments just don't work for some patients. Did you know that 99% of the population has at least one variant in their DNA that doesn't allow them to metabolize certain medications? The way patients respond to treatments is heavily affected by their individual genetic makeup, variables, and complex biology. We now have the science to personalize treatments. For more information, please join the Facebook group.
Okay, so I have I put that together to join this Facebook group. You see that at the end, right here. Let me get to that end. Oops, just one little too far. Because there's already been a national campaign that has been launched to tell patients about pharmacogenomics, about personalized medicine, and there's over there's that content gets over 1 million views per month every 28 days. There's over 100,000, 115,000 patients that are following this now. And so we had to create a Facebook group to funnel all of these patients in to help them get connected with some of our pharmacies. And so encourage you also, please join that Facebook group, Healthcare Disruptors, because that way we can direct the patients to you. But like I said, overwhelming response, over 100,000, like 115,000 patients now that's following that content. So, and it starts with, the pharmacogenomics piece that we were talking about here, or PGX. Oops, sorry. Here we go. So fourth revenue stream from the Fountain of Youth is this program. There's a wonderful lab. I didn't see anyone here today from the lab. If there is, please speak up. But gene markers up in Michigan is paying our community pharmacies $110, and that covers the collection fee and also the interpretation as well. So if you're credentialed, once you get credentialed on the clinical side and you're a clinic, then that reimbursement for interpretation goes up quite a bit. But even right now today, you can implement this pharmacogenomics program and earn $110 per patient on that. With Medicare, they will actually reimburse for that. Not all the commercial plans are reimbursing for it yet, but the government sees the benefit on making sure that the medications that are prescribed are really matching the genetic makeup of the individual patient. And so so they will cover this the cost of this test, because it's still fairly expensive, $550 to $700, I think, per test. And so but Medicare will cover it if the patient is on multiple medications, so like 3, 4, 5 different medications, and if one of those medications is either a heart med or a psych med, then they'll cover it. So reach out to us so we can get you connected and get enrolled in that program as well. The fifth revenue stream through the Fountain of Youth is blood analytics. If you haven't heard about this program yet with Lab Smarts, it's an amazing program. It actually looks at the blood markers in a patient, so they get their labs back. They are not feeling quite right. They feel kind of crummy, but the labs come back and they're all in normal range. So, that's basically what they're going to hear from the primary care providers. Oh, nope, your labs are in normal range. Well, what does normal mean from one patient to the next? And so what this program does is it actually uses artificial intelligence, AI, to match blood markers in that patient's lab results to identify where there are problems, where there's deficiencies, so that you can make recommendations to help make up those deficiencies. Okay. This short little video here is about a product that just got FDA approval. Now, the technology's been around for like 20 years, but FDA finally approved a device that will help reduce inflammation. So out of the 45,000 disease states, over 90%, 93% of diseases originate from inflammation. This program reduces inflammation and increases microcirculation at the cellular level. So the cells are getting more oxygen and nutrients, and they're revitalized with more ATP. There's about a 22% increase in ATP. And I'm going to show you a demo here. This is a leg muscle that's blown up so big that you can see one individual little capillary off to the far left side. So here I'm going to pause the video so you can see. So this is the arterial bringing the blood to the extremities. Again, like I said, this is in the leg. So there's one tiny little capillary coming off to the far left. And then, of course, the darker blood over here is the vein returning the blood to the heart to get reoxygenated. So look how lethargic the blood is moving into that little capillary. Sometimes it's completely stopping, but after only 3 minutes of stimulation, it's flowing naturally. Okay. After 6 minutes, it's like the Autobahn. It's just flooding into the extremities and those capillaries. I'm going to pause again. You're going to see these little things that look like air bubbles. They're not. Those are actually individual white blood cells. It doesn't produce any more white blood cells. It just makes them more active. So they're doing their job. They're the little policemen going up and down, right, to protect against infection, and so it just makes them more active. So it's not just while the patient is on the device. It lasts up to 18 hours as what it's been identified. So very first medical device of its kind to get FDA Class 2 NGX approval. I want to show you what the device looks like here. So that's why I put this little clip of Will getting treatment. This is the actual medical device itself. There's 2 ports on it. One port is going to this med bed. Okay, so just imagine like a high-end yoga mat, but it has these coils through it. And those coils are what is sending the frequency. It's a very low frequency between 10 and 30 megahertz. And that way it can actually penetrate to the cellular level. So unlike a muscle stim or other PEMF devices, it's working from those muscle stimulators work from the outside in. So it's like a muscle contracting, relaxing. This is actually working from the inside out. So the penetration can go all the way through, through the body. Show you down here. The other port is going to this device right here on Will's ankle. He broke his ankle, playing basketball over in France a few years back, and just has a lot of scar tissue and built, not full range of motion there. And so this helps break down that scar tissue, and it helps to loosen up and give you back your range of motion. So used as a DME device as well as muscle stimulation also with the Medicare patients and the elderly. Being used for fall prevention and muscle strengthening as well. So some amazing benefits there to patients. And they've actually identified 4 different revenue streams just from that device itself. We listed as one of the revenue streams of the Fountain of Youth, but this one device actually has 4 different revenue streams. So we can tell you more about that if you have interest. This is going to be big business in the future. You can see big pharma and big tech are partnering up to develop more of these bioelectro devices. And the Fountain of Youth has the first one available with FDA approval already. The 10th revenue stream is remote therapy. This is an amazing program that actually does a wireframe of the patient's body. It's an actual app that goes on their device, their smart device. You can put it on a tablet or a smartphone and set it up so that they can actually do their therapy at home remotely. And this tracks and monitors and makes sure that they're doing it right. It increases the adherence by 70%, meaning today, if a patient goes to a physical therapist and they do their workout, then they get handed a couple of pieces of paper to go home, and it has diagrams of the exercise. Number one, probably only about 30% of people even attempt to do those exercises, and maybe only 5% are actually doing them correctly. So this system actually helps you, the patient, know exactly how to do it and if they're doing it correctly. So if you're supposed to be doing a deep squat in the example here, it'll let you know if you're at 70%, 80%. Okay, now you're at 100%, come back up. So it increases, like I said, adherence, which of course then helps people actually do the right exercises to your amazing program. So just to recap, the 10 revenue streams. Vaccination, you're already doing that, so now get paid fairly for it instead of getting treated like the redheaded stepchild. Community pharmacy, that is how payers treat you. Get clinical reimbursements. The home health tests that we talked about, everyone needs to get enrolled in that. The virtual care through through your telehealth, PGX or the pharmacogenomics, the blood analytics with the lab smarts, and then the medical device that we showed you there, that has, so you have your insurance payments for that. There's cash pay, the DME, and then the device is actually available to sell as well, and then the virtual therapy. What is being created here, ladies and gentlemen, is the largest cooperative in the country. This is going to be twice as big as a CVS or a Walgreens. It's an amazing cooperative where all community pharmacies can be a part of this, and like I said, be large, be twice as big as the CVS chain, which is going to give us so many advantages as community pharmacy. Here's everything that is included in the all-inclusive package deal that has, all the credentialing, licensing, everything that's needed, patient management, billing, collections. Even the collections is done for your pharmacy, and it's basically a couple of months to hit your ROI on this. There is, some equipment cost and setup costs that are associated with it. And so we've even gone out and lined up a funding program for you. Was Walter on today? I didn't see that he joined. Please speak up if you are here, Walter. But Walter Grain has Grain Funding, which has business credit lines that have zero interest for 15 to 18 months. So something you might want to check into. But the overall investment is somewhere around 25K. But like I said, that little pharmacy in a little town, not a big town. It's not even Little Rock. It's a smaller town in Arkansas, is already generating $35,000 per month. The 11th revenue stream is this program. I don't know if you have all gotten familiar with Kent Nelson or not. He's a pharmacist that his pharmacies out in California were struggling. They were going under because of poor reimbursements. And he found this amazing bio scanner that identifies deficiencies in patients. So it kind of tells you, how healthy the patient is, and it gives them a score, and then can make recommendations. So this is really like, the programs that you've seen with McKesson and others that have the depletion, nutrient depletion programs, because almost every medication has something that it's depleting the patient on, and so you've got to make up for that, like statins, needing the CoQ10, and so this is helping to with that program as well. So all cash pay program where the patient pays for the scan, you put them on a therapy, then they come back in 6 to 8 weeks to get rescanned, and so it's like any other thing right in healthcare. It's test, therapy, retest. Test, therapy, retest. And so this is another one of those programs. Dr. Oz calls it the ultimate lie detector because it can show you really where the patients, how healthy they really are eating. This next product and the 12th revenue stream here is something that I want to turn some time over to my friend Scott Lamphere to tell you about. But I'll just tell you that I personally use this, won't travel without it. This is an amazing technology that I've got a package of the wipes. The one wipe in here is so large that when I travel and we took a trip with our whole family, and I've got 2 little grandkids, I took one wipe, wiped them down head to toe. I wiped the plane seat down, the buckles, the tray, everything, because I knew those kids were going to play with everything. They were going to touch everything. And this was right in the middle of the pandemic when we took this trip. Was on a similar family trip. They unfortunately got a couple of extra weeks in quarantine. Didn't take the same precautions that we did. But Scott, would you please tell us more about this amazing product and what you have here? All right. So I know I've gotten several calls and connectivity issues that people haven't been able to connect, but the technology is killing the pathogens physically, not chemically. So unlike the alcohol-based hand sanitizers, when they say they're 99.9 or 99.8% effective, that's for about 6 seconds that you get that protection. Okay. It's only effective while the active ingredient is still wet, which in hand sanitizer is alcohol. So as soon as the alcohol evaporates, the protection is gone. In fact, you actually are attracting more germs because now they have to put moisturizers, aloe and other things into the hand sanitizer so that your skin doesn't dry out, which creates a sticky surface that now picks up every particle of dirt, every pathogen, everything that you touch afterwards. So it's actually doing the very opposite of what you thought it was doing by putting the hand sanitizer on. What this product does is it's all water-based. It uses a physical reaction. So you're getting, we're talking about nanotechnology here, about 30,000 times smaller than even a human hair. It creates these carbon shards, and it creates a barrier on your skin that the FDA says lasts up to 4 hours, which means it probably lasts 5 or 6 hours. Okay, your skin cells literally have to flake it off. But basically what happens is the carbon shards pierce the cell of the pathogen, and then it is burned up. It's amazing technology. It also comes in surface cleaning as well, which lasts a lot longer than 4 hours. It lasts up to 28 days or something like that on the surfaces. But amazing product, and the profit margins on it are about 48-50% on that. So is Chris here today for BioLite? I think most of you know about BioLite because now you can get it right directly from your from your wholesaler. So when we first started these roundtables, it wasn't in the wholesalers yet, and so you're having to order it directly. But BioLite's an amazing product that is everything you get in a intravenous IV, but it is now a drinkable. And so this product is something that it replaces your sports drinks. So it's actually 550% more electrolytes than the leading sports drink. Amazing product. If anyone is going through chemotherapy, they should definitely be getting BioLite. Anytime I hear of a friend or a relative that is going through chemo, I call up BioLite and have some shipped out to them because it's an amazing product. You should be carrying this in your pharmacy, and it's the 13th revenue stream that we have to talk about. And number 14, I do see that Jonathan's here today. This is a fun program. They're launching this weekend, so they'll be also one of the ones that'll be down in Orlando launching the Breath Rock. So Jonathan, why don't you tell us more about this amazing new product?
Yeah, thank you, Breck. This is Jonathan Tanner here. I'm the founder and CEO of BreathRox. And as he mentioned, we're launching this weekend at NCPA. And what BreathRox is it's a popping breath mint. So it's essentially a sugar-free pop rocks with zinc. And so it's an absolutely fun product. I mean, you can imagine, if you're having, the old pop rocks that we all grew up with. I mean, it's really fun. But with the product, we have these 3 great flavors with mint, cinnamon, and watermelon. They're just terrific flavors. But maybe most importantly is the function. What the zinc is doing is it's neutralizing the gases in our mouth that cause bad breath. So the big selling point is, all these other, things like, Tic Tac out there, whatnot. That's just candy that, perfumes your mouth. Where with BreathRox, it's actually, fighting the bad breath with zinc. So what we did was we acquired the brand. It had been out there on QVC and HSN, and with Facebook, they were selling like a big $30 box of this for 9 of these. And so we were able to take the old brand, and we updated it with this new brand, a little bit larger packaging, much more retail friendly, and they're bringing it to pharmacies at a retail price of $349. Our wholesale price is $174, so it gives you that 50% margin. And like I like to say, it's kind of like the Red Bull of breath mints, because it's taking a product that's been out there, breath mints, and it's adding a functional ingredient to make it more potent, and then it really is increasing the revenue for the pharmacies. What we've been doing to launch this project is we've been raising a $300,000 seed loan. We've raised about half of that, and that's all come from independent pharmacists, a C-store owner, and a medical supply company. And so literally I was at the manufacturer a couple weeks ago, and so we're in production. And if you come to our booth, we're booth 1034 at NCPA. We're right next to IPC. You can come get samples, get on our list to distribute the product, because we'll be distributing that product here at the end of the month. And if you're interested in becoming one of our seed loan investors, what's great is we're able to, when we launch our crowdfunding campaign next month, we'll be able to give you your principal back plus 25%, and then you get 2 times what you invested in our crowdfunding. And as I'll wrap up, the real value of the crowdfunding is being able to have thousands of tens of thousands of consumers who put in as little as $100, or even other pharmacies and C-stores that have put in money, who are now going to be extra incentivized to share the smiles that BreathRox brings. So as I mentioned in the chat here, please circle back with me if you're interested in the product, if you're interested in investment, and hopefully if you're attending NCPA, we'll see this weekend. We can meet in the flesh and share with you the awesomeness of BreathRox.
Yeah, an amazing product, tastes amazing. Absolutely love it. Jonathan has fear that it may be a shrinkage problem at your pharmacies, because your techs are going to want to use it all the time as well, because it just tastes amazing. By the way, Jonathan is also an advisory board member of the FOI program, so he can help answer more questions about that program too, if you run into him at NCPA, or come see us at our booth as well. So thank you, John. Appreciate that. And his contact information is in the chat, and make sure you reach out. 15th revenue stream, be real quick on this, is that it is a dry eye mask that naturally pulls the natural oils out of the eye, so that it helps lubricate the eye. So it replaces a couple of different medications right there. The manufacturer of this will actually send you free products. So they'll send you a couple, $200 worth of product for you to start that program. Just reach out to me if you want to get free products sent out to start that program with your pharmacies. Let's go to number 16 here, is turning some time over to my friend Tom, we love the Real Value guys, not only them personally, but their prices. We have some community pharmacies that don't use them as a secondary. They use them as their primary because of how much better the pricing is. And there's always some amazing special going on too. And so it's just worth checking in to see what you're getting on the generic side. And if you can't get a better price, most of you are probably already working with Real Value, but if you're not, you should be. So Tom, take it away.
Thank you for that, Breck. So real quick, just some information on our company. We're based in San Antonio, Texas. We ship to all 50 states next day. We service about 6,500 retail independent pharmacies and also other business areas, a lot of long-term care as well. I would say what we do different than the other wholesalers out there is we talk to you about the products you're dispensing, and we really talk about product selection. And you can change a prescription from what's underwater to above water, and you do that across many products. All of a sudden, you're making more money at the end of the month. That's needed. So we also suggest products that you might not even be thinking about. We provide marketing materials if you want to talk about it with your local doctors, all those types of things. We don't hound our customers with 10 calls a day. We really try to make it a one call a couple times a week and a consultative type basis, and just really going over the product selection. I did want to bring up, and by the way, we do have about 5,000 items in our warehouse, and we have a team of analysts, almost 10 of them, that just crank through information, data. So we know our pricing is sharp. So you can go on our website, look at our pricing. You can go to the various trade sites, and we know we're competitive with all of that. So we just, please take a look. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised if you haven't done so. We will be at NCPA. We have a nice big booth there, booth number 319. You're welcome. Please stop by if you're on this call in your pharmacy, and whether you're working with us or not, we'd love to see you. We are going to have a podcast, the pharmacy podcast. Todd Yeri, he's going to be doing his show from our booth on that Sunday, the first day, and it's going to be very interactive. So any customers that want to, we're going to be talking about saving money on products for the pharmacy, but we're also going to talk about adjunct therapy that will support different drugs that a patient could be taking, what could offset some of the side effects and things like that. So even to those vendors on this call, come by. Anyone can speak on the podcast, and we'll put something together that we can keep utilizing and sending out to people. So please come see us, and that's basically it. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks, Tom. And I have to check my calendar, because I'm scheduled one of the days to come and interview with Todd as well on the Pharmacy Podcast. But wanted to show you the product portfolio. They actually help you market programs to the providers in your area. No other wholesaler is really doing that, and they have this really cool sister company called Easy Script RX that helps. Tell real quickly, what does that do? It tells you what the reimbursement's going to be.
Yeah, it basically it communicates with the PBMs. It's all upfront. They're actually paid for that data, and it basically, you put the patient information in. I'm just being very general here, and it'll tell you for that patient, for that NDC, what drugs are covered, what would need a prior authorization, and what's not covered. Yeah. And it'll show the pharmacy the profit they're going to make, but also the copay to the patient, and they can make the best decision for both the pharmacy and the patient.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you, Tom.
Sure,
and
thank you.
Number 17, this is brand new. Wanted to introduce you to John. John is here with My RX Spark. It's a brand new discount card that you all need to hear about. John.
Yeah, hey, thank you. So I'll be brief. The thing is, we have built platforms We built WebMD way back in the day, and we built other platforms like Yahoo Money. And we built a platform for pharmacy discounts that work with very, very large partners, companies like Henry Schein, Lionsgate, that own Netflix on demand. And it's all branded as they market to their consumers. We've created a brand called MyRxSpark aimed at helping community pharmacies, and it helps them in 2 or 3 ways. First way is that the community pharmacies promote MyRxSpark to their consumers. They get their dispensing fee normally, and they get a share of the money that I make from the PBM. So it's an increase in dispensing fee on the one side. If the user, your patient who comes to the community pharmacy, uses it anywhere else in the country or at a different pharmacy, used to learn. If they tell their friends and family about it, you earn from all that revenue as well. And that's exactly the same as it works with Henry Schein or Lionsgate. In addition, we reach over 50 million users on our platform through people like Henry Schein, Lionsgate, and so forth. And when patients are searching for a drug in a specific zip code, then the pharmacists that have joined this network will then be promoted and highlighted to bring them up to the fore when people are searching. So those are sort of the 3 things we're doing. We've got a very simple landing page that explains the program, and a video and material that Breck has. And again, we're trying to just get feedback to say, what is it that you like about this program, and what is it you think we can change? Because we own the technology, and we've got developers that are very, very skilled to create a different approach.
Thank you, John. And here is the quick video that's on their landing page. Let me turn the sound up.
Can't hear the sound. So unlike
unlike other discount cards that ask your pharmacy to take a discount, you set your cash price, and that's what you actually get reimbursed. But like John mentioned, is that now when your customer goes anywhere, you're getting a percentage of whatever they're purchasing, even if it's not from your own pharmacy. So most discount cards are one-sided. They're just there to help the patient. Well, I guess they're two-sided, the patient and the PBM. In this program, it's there to help community pharmacy as well. So anything else to quickly add, John?
No, again, it's just trying to get feedback from the program. If you can send out the landing page, which has the video with sound, as well as a downloadable brochure, any feedback is phenomenally useful to me. Thank you.
Excellent. And appreciate everyone being here today. I know we're running a little over time, but certainly appreciate you being here. There is a program also that helps community pharmacies lower their overall costs on health insurance with Cindy Gordon and the Gordon Health Group. I can certainly get you in contact with her. It's about 40 to 50% lower than major medical plans. So certainly something to check into if you're providing health care for your individual employees. But I appreciate community pharmacy and all that you do. And thank you for being here today. Please reach out, save the chat, because all of our contact information is in there. You'll see my contact information. I'll put it in there just one last time so that you have it. If you've never been on Zoom before, congratulations. But to save the chat's real easy. Just at the very bottom of the chat, you'll see the little emojis and everything. There's 3 little dots. Click on those 3 little dots and then hit save, and the chat will be saved for you. Damar, you have a question?
There was a question in chat with John Musa about he's in New York. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did, and you responded very, very correctly. So yeah, it is absolutely credentialing works great in every state. So the ServerX program, has difficulty with some of the payers in New York and California and stuff, but the credentialing is completely separate. It's on the clinical side, and so you're able to credential with whoever the payers are, wherever they are. Once you are credentialed, then you can successfully bill those health plans for any clinical services. So yes, it works perfectly in New York. And you described it well, Damar, that it's based on the payer, the individual payers. And so you would look at your payer mix, who your current clients are, and obviously the first one you start with is getting credentialed with Medicare, because not only do we all serve that community, but it's the fastest to get credentialed. They're really quick and responsive, and so you can get fully credentialed with Medicare in like 30, 40 days and be up and running and able to care for those patients. United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, some of the other big plans may take 3 or 4 months before you get hear back from them to get credentialed. But yeah, Medicare is very quick, so you can get started right away. Yeah, any other questions might be able to answer for you? Again, save the chat, reach out to me. You'll see on my contact information, I also have a Calendly link there that takes you right directly into my calendar so that you can schedule a one-on-one if you want to dive into any one of these programs individually. If you'll be at NCPA, please stop by and we can also go into more detail. So hopefully there's one thing that you take away today that helps you bring in more revenue to your pharmacy. That's what this program is all about, and why we call it a new revenue roundtable for community pharmacy. So if there's just one thing, take it and run with it and implement it and get generating more revenue. If you want to set up the complete health hub, there are people here to help you get that done as well. All right, thanks everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day and week, and I hope to see you in Orlando. Take care, everyone. Bye now.
Bye-bye.